we'll start our recording and get started. And of course, Lane, just pop back in when you can. There we go. All right. So our thought for today is let it be easy. Let it be easy. I've been trying to work on some things for my business, like a little PDF, and it should be so simple, or planning a class, and it's like my basics class, and it should be like the simplest thing. And it is simple, and then my brain gets involved, and it has lots of undeniably great ideas. But every single idea that I have complicates my little project to the point that at some point I'm just like, forget it, I can't do it. I don't want to do this, it's way too much work. And it's so ridiculous because it could just go the other way. It could just be easy. I could just do the easy part and let it be. So I've decided that's what I have to do. I have to slow down. I need to keep it very simple, let things be easy. And when I do, there's a much greater chance that the thing that I'm trying to do will actually happen, which is what I actually want to have happen. And so the same thing can happen in our yoga practice. I mean, we can certainly get seduced or called in, right, by the super fancy poses. For me, I'm always like, oh, I want to have like a mind-blowing sequence, you know, these kinds of things where it's just like, whoa. Or we can get drawn into over-efforting, like overdoing it in the actual poses, pushing too hard in the practice. And honestly, I do think there is a season for fancy poses, for advancing your practice, and for truly working. But there's never really a season for overworking, in my opinion. But there also can be a season for just being in the nourishment and the comfort and of the tried and true poses, of the ones that are just like, these are my home. This is where my body feels good. I know how to do them without the distraction of fancy, fluffy, too busy, or so difficult that you have to work so hard. This easefulness in practice, poses that you are familiar and comfortable with, lets you go into a deeper place if you're not seduced by being bored, right? So you can be drawn instead into a deeper experience within the pose because you're not having to work so hard at it. And I think, you know, so that brings us to the word sukha, which is what ease would be, right? In Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, they're always talking, he says, we want the posture to be easeful, right? So we want to have some sukha, some ease that we cultivate. And my wonderment and my question about it is that maybe coming at it from a place of ease that allows us to go deeper can create condition for awakening where we don't have to work so hard at it, where we don't have to like overwork all the time, but the pathway is just there and we can just step onto the pathway towards our own hearts versus like trying to get there and covering it up all the time, making it harder than it needs to be, right? So this morning, as we practice in this move and restore class, that's the idea. Simple, comforting poses, poses we've known, poses that let us move, and then getting into the restoratives to have a deepening experience of just ease and softness. So let's start with a good seat. You can turn your inner thighs down towards the mat and sit up well. Rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes, turn inside. Feel the comfort and the support of the blanket or seat beneath you. And breathe all the way down to your sitting bones. Even let sitting in this place be easy. It's very simple. Soften into the experience of your breath. It's all you're doing. Sitting and breathing. Be drawn then towards the center of your heart. the abode of peace and freedom. It's like just turning a corner, going a different way. Let it be easy. Listening into your heart center now, join your palms in front of you and form an intention for this practice. Let's chant Om together 3 times. Welcome your in-breath. And gently bow in softly, nothing overworking. Release your hands onto your thighs, lift your head slowly back up and open your eyes. Good. We'll start standing. So you can come to a place on your mat where you can reach your arms out to the sides with room. There we go. Okay. So I'm in a different space today, so it's going to take me a second just to get set up, but here we go. Okay, so bring your feet to inner hip distance and parallel, then bring your arms by your sides and just feeling your feet on the mat. Do engage your leg muscles all the way up through the legs into the pelvis and the backs of the legs, and then slide your buttocks flesh down. So there's a little like drawing downwards, so you feel held in an easeful stance by gravity. Then breathe and move. Inhale, take both arms up overhead. And exhale the arms back down by your sides. Very, very simple, purposefully. Inhale, feel the breath entering the body. Exhale, feel the breath leaving your body. Inhale, allow the breath to expand your torso. Exhale, keep the expansion as the arms float back down. One more time, inhale, open up a little bigger, without overdoing it, and exhale, arms back down. Nothing's overworking, settling into ease. Again, take your arms up, inhale, clasp your left wrist with your right hand and arc over to the right, exhale. So if you normally pull at 10,000%, just pull at 5,000%. So you might give a little bit less in the beginning, and notice how that softness that's still engaged actually allows for the opening to occur. Then inhale up in the middle and switch sides. Clasp the right wrist, exhale over to the left. Same thing, if you tend to just crank on your body, you soften the effort a little bit. And instead of strengthening effort, strengthen your attention, the way you're meeting your pose. Inhale back up. Let's exhale and bow forward, arms wide, touch the mat. Again, engage the leg muscles all around your bones and draw up to your pelvis, but then push down from your buttocks, down the backs of the legs, into the feet, into the floor, and that'll allow your spine to cascade a little more towards the floor. Allow the shoulders to move towards the mat, broaden the elbows. Inhale and stretch your heart forward halfway. Exhale to fold over. 2 more times like that. Inhale, heart forward, halfway. Exhale, feel the texture of the breath. It moves back out. Once more, inhale, heart forward. And exhale to fold. Take your arms wide, come all the way back up. Inhale. And then join them together in front of your heart. Exhale. Take the side body stretches one more time. Release your arms, stretch them to the sky again. Clasp the left wrist with the right hand and arc over to the right. If there's any effort, if there's really any sort of strong work, make it in the legs. So the legs stay really stable. Take the tops of both inner thighs back and slide your buttocks flesh down. And then just feel how the body responds to this simple stretch. Inhale into the center and switch sides. Clasp the other hand and arc over to the right. Keep your legs firm. Buttocks flesh down. Lift your low belly. And inhale back up in the center, arms wide. Exhale, bow forward again to Uttanasana. If you're not at the top of your mat, you just want to make your way to the top of your mat now. Feet parallel. Inhale, extend your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale again, extend your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. One last time. Inhale, extend the spine halfway. This time, step your left leg back and come into a lunge. Take a deep breath in your lunge and square off your hips towards the front and then lower your back knee down. A little connection between the back knee and the front foot. Take your right hand to your right thigh, push down, twist to the right with your low belly, then your ribs, then your heart, then your shoulders, and you've turned. Turn towards the right side. Now, you can stay here. If this is enough effort this morning, enough activation, then stay here. Keep the legs steady. Or you can take the variation that you'd like. Arm up, back thigh up, but let it be easy. Not, totally relaxed easy, but not overdone today. Working with what's available today. Exhale, bring your hand back down if it is up. Lift your back knee if it is down, and step forward to standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale and extend your heart towards the front. Exhale, step back with your right leg, lunge. Take a breath to open to a flow of energy moving inside of you and all things. And scissor your hips towards the short edge of your mat, the front there. Lower your back knee down, bring your left hand on your left thigh and push down to twist. So there we go, turning to the left. Draw the legs strongly towards each other. Spin the low belly, the ribs, the heart, the shoulders. Good. And keeping your right shoulder back, you may want to take the left arm up. You may want to take the right leg up or not, your choice. Again, choose what's in just the right range of work and ease for you. Not too much. Good. Exhale, bring your hand back down to the mat. Lift your back knee if it's not up, and step back this time to downward facing dog. Notice the texture of your breath again. Let the inhale draw you in towards yourself, and the exhale help you to release distraction, be that physical or mental, emotional. Then gently shift and move around in your down dog if you'd like, bending one knee and the other. So find the pathways of ease in the body. Places that feel tight, breathe into them. Send your kindness, your care, and your breath. Let the body open. And then come back to neutral in downward facing dog. Keep your arms really firm. Look forward past your hands and inhale, come forward into plank pose. Now, if you need to, of course, lower the knees. If you're in a little more easeful position, or keep the knees up. Lift the sides of your waistline and keep your legs firm. Now, can you have an easeful disposition even as you hold plank for a moment? Then lower down, knees can be off or knees can come down all the way down to your belly. Reach your toes straight back behind you and interweave your fingers together, lift your shoulders. Inhale, curl up, lift your heart. And exhale, soften just a bit. Soften your eyes so it's ease in the eyes even as you open in the front. Then exhale and lower, hands under shoulders. Go back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in downward facing dog and keep the arms firm. Lift the heads of your arm bones and hollow your armpits. Take the tops of the thigh bones back. Reach your heels for the mat. Now look up towards your hands and step or hop yourself forward into standing forward bend. Feet parallel. Inhale, extend your heart towards the front. Exhale and fold over. Follow the sweetness of your breath as you reach for the sky. Come all the way up. And then join your palms in front of your heart. Release the arms by your sides again and reach for the sky. Inhale, lift, grow tall. Exhale and fold Uttanasana. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, step back, plank. Feel the energy that rises up as you start to move the body and use that energy in your pose. So the sides of the ribs stay long, soften your upper back. Lift the sides of your waistline, keep the legs steady. Now lift your head slightly and lower down slow. Exhale. Press the tops of the feet down and back. Inhale, curl up in cobra. Draw the heads of your arm bones back to allow your heart to open with more sweetness, more ease. And then exhale, lower and go back again to downward facing dog. Follow your breath. Let the breath be an indicator of whether you're overworking or not. Usually when we overwork, either the breath will get really ragged or we'll just stop breathing. Neither one of those is super effective over the long term. So instead, allow the breath to smooth out, even if you need to work a little less. Let it be easy. Look up towards the top of the mat, rise on tiptoe, bend your knees and step or hop forward, standing forward, bend, and reach your heart forward with your in-breath. Exhale to fold over. Take the arms wide, come back up to standing. Inhale. Join your palms at your heart with your exhale. One more like that. Release your arms and sweep them to the sky. Reach up. And exhale, fold into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale your heart out. Exhale, back plank. You can always have the plank on the knees if you need to, or hover with the knees off. Now notice if the head is dripping down, lift the back of the head slightly, curve the back of the neck, and then slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Exhale. Again, come up into cobra, so press your feet back, draw your heart forward, and curl up. Soften just a little bit so you can go a little deeper into that heart experience. Then exhale and lower, curl back, downward facing dog. Notice the experience of breathing right now, being in this particular body, in this particular moment, in an easeful way, not in resistance, not fighting, not making it more complicated than it needs to be. Inhale and take your right leg up into the air in three-legged dog. And then step it forward, come into a lunge. Line up your hips towards the front of the mat and squeeze your leg muscles. And then just come up into crescent. And you can do that by bringing the hands to the hips first if you need to get balance, or just take both arms straight up. Just pause, breathe and feel. Feel where your body is and how it's going. And then scissor the legs to the middle with enough power to keep you steady. Left thigh widens a little, wrap your right hip back. And then pressing down through the legs, lift easily, sweetly up through the ribs and all the way up through the fingertips. We can always over effort, we can always over fight for the poses, or we can soften just a bit and allow the pose to work itself, to unfold gently. Good, exhale, reach down, step back to downward facing dog. Kind of like children, we can work really hard at it, or we can let them kind of unfold themselves. It's an interesting challenge. Let's try the other side. Inhale, take the left leg high in three-leg dog. Step it forward, come into lunge. Pause at the floor so that you can get yourself lined up. And then with the legs scissored, bring your hands to your hips, lift up your torso, come up into crescent. Soften your face. Hug the legs now to the middle to hold you stable, and keep the back thigh high and wide, the front hip down and under. You can take the arms to the sky when you're ready, and reaching down through the legs will help you to stay anchored as you lift all the way up sweetly through the ribs, shoulders back, head back, and up through the fingertips. Release over-efforting with your exhale. And though it may be a challenge, it may take some effort, yes. Release anything that's just making it complicated or overdone. Good. Exhale, reach down, touch the mat. This time you have the choice to vinyasa if you want a vinyasa, or if there would be more ease, if you just skip that and go to down dog, or child's pose, go there if you need to. How can we make it simple and clear? Things get super clear when we slow down and get more simple. Inhale, take the right leg high again. Let's bend the right knee, take it up and over towards the left. Reach the left heel down and firm your left arm. Lengthen your neck. Now bring your right knee forward in between your hands, step into lunge. Come to warrior two. Back heel down, open up. Yeah. So point the front knee out over the second and third toe so it's not falling in. And squeeze the legs and draw up to the core of the pelvis. Keeping that, the tops of the thighs go wide. Draw your tail down and your belly up. So all of that can be done with agitation or with just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Simplicity, ease. Press back down through the legs to now expand. Take your left hand to your hip, take your right hand on the floor, and then straighten the right leg. So you can always put your right hand on a block if you need to, or on your ankle for triangle pose. Squeeze the legs strong. Scoop your right seat way underneath of you and let that help you spin your body more open. And then as you're ready, take your arm up. Again, we want the arm to just be an extension of the ease and flow that's already happening through the rest of your body, not flung up and fought with. So notice the ease of your breath. And also the sense of life, energy, vitality, whatever you want to call it, flowing through your veins and your energy systems. That's what supports you to continue to extend out, not just over muscling. Exhale, bring your hand back down and step back to downward facing dog. Let's switch sides. Take your left leg high, three-leg dog. Bend your left knee. Take your left foot towards the right side. Keep your right arm firm. Then reach your left heel for the mat. And then left knee to nose, step forward, come into a lunge. Come up for warrior two. So back heel comes down, cartwheel up. Receive a breath. And then with the next one, imagine your whole body getting a little brighter on the inside. So the inner body is bright and full. Charge up the legs And guide your left knee out towards the pinky toe side of the left foot. Thighs back, tail down, draw your low belly up. Good, and then from deep inside, push down and out. You feel the earth beneath your feet, and you look out over the left fingertips. Let the gaze be soft and easy, even taken from your peripheral vision. And then backhand on your hip, right hand to your hip, left fingertips to the floor or the block. Straighten your left leg to come into Trikonasana triangle pose. And it starts with just waiting, letting the body respond to this new shape. Return to your breath, but then charging the legs, draw up into your core. Thighs back, tail underneath. Rotate belly, ribs, heart, shoulders, and extend out through the top arm. Play with wrapping the left lung underneath so the right lung can come over. And it's simple, it's sweet. Again, you can play with feel where the breath catches or where the energy in the body feels stuck, and send your attention there rather than your effort. Attention will release tension. Kind of cool. Take your top hand back down, step back to downward facing dog, or move through vinyasa, or go to child's pose. So again, cultivate ease, even if you're choosing to move. Let the vinyasa have a sweetness to it. The comfort, the nourishment of just being in your body this morning. Let yourself breathe and move. Look up now towards the top of the mat. Rise up on your tiptoes and bend your knees and step or hop to the top. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold over. Root down through the legs to rise upwards and reach for the sky. And bring your palms together in front of your heart center. Exhale. Stand where you have some space to do tree pose, Vrikshasana, balancing tree pose. Whatever makes sense to you in your environment. And of course, you can use a wall or furniture if you need a little more support. Add some ease. Okay, so wrap the leg muscles around the left leg and particularly notice the top of the left thigh is starting to shift off to the left. Hug the top of the left thigh in. Then come into tree pose, and it can be low, medium, or high with the foot. Join your palms in front once you have your balance. Let it be simple. Allow some breath to come up underneath the side ribs or along the side ribs and up under the armpits so your elbows are not crushed into your body. Lift them up, armpits lift. You'll notice that's kind of like having little wings underneath you. Left hip hugs in. And then either stay there or take your arms up. Allow your face to be really soft. So that again, you can play with taking in from your peripheral vision. And it puts you into a deeper part of your brain when you do that. Place where you can't really overwork so much. Good, bring your palms back to your heart and step your right foot down. Switch sides. Right foot points straight ahead. Wrap the leg muscles around the bones, really sturdy. And again, hug the right outer hip in and underneath, and then step your left foot up. It can be toes on the floor, foot on the calf, or foot on your thigh. Press your foot and your leg into each other. Hug the hip in. And again, join your palms if that's available. Yeah, good. When you breathe, allow your torso to expand in all directions, and that's what can give you some of this like lift under the armpits. There's a little bit of wingspan. If you're feeling really balanced, take the arms up overhead. And again, play with soft focus, peripheral vision focus. How much of the room can you take in as you balance? Instead of that sharp, harsh, drishti gaze, just a different way to play with the eyes. Helps you turn more internally. Good, bring your palms back to your heart space. Step your left foot back down. Whew, step to the top of the mat again. Release the arms by your sides and then sweep them up overhead. And exhale, fold, follow your hands with your eyes, fingertips to the mat. Inhale, heart halfway forward. Step your left leg back. We're coming to pigeon on the right side. So left leg goes back, lower the left knee, walk the right foot over towards the left hand, and then open your right knee out to the right. There we go. Good, take a deep breath and soften just a bit. Now squeeze the leg muscles firmly on the bones. Can keep the left hip moving left, the right hip moving back and down, and either stay upright. That's enough for your hip this morning, or come down to forearms again. Sense of, instead of fighting against the pose or fighting towards the pose, be where the pose is. Meaning you're not trying to push past some edge that you're meeting. You're just trying to meet the edge and see what that is all about. Interestingly, when we do that, when we come into more of a relationship of ease with our boundaries, with our edges, and we bring them kind attention, the edges start to move. We find out they're not quite so fixed as we thought they were. That's how we start to evolve our human material. And step onto the path of awakening, hopefully. Good, walk your hands back towards your legs, lift your torso back up, and you can step to table or down dog and shake your right leg out. Just move it around a little. Then place your right leg back down and step your left foot up into your lunge. And walk the left foot towards the right side of the mat. Lower your back knee, open the left knee. Come to pigeon. Leg muscles steady and firm. Take your right hip to the right, your left hip back, and then walk forward. Again, the option is to stay upright or to come down, as long as you can be in a state of ease. And you know that because you're still breathing. Your face can be soft. You're more curious. Feel where the edge is right now. And instead of violently pushing against it, overworking, just move closer to it with your mind or with some muscular action that's needed, but not overdone. Not trying to violently push through it. Allow your lips to be soft and easy, and the breath to move on its own. And then again, walk your hands back towards your body. Lift yourself up. Down dog or table pose to move your left leg around in space. Then lower both knees down. You may want your blocks nearby. I'm going to grab mine to bring your right foot forward into runner's stretch. So it can be staying on your left knee. Take your right foot forward and your hands can come up on the blocks or stay on the mat. This is a pose that for me is like not particularly comforting. if we're talking about the poses to be in that are comforting. But it's the effectiveness of it is so useful. We often, with the sitting and the activities that we do, we just put a lot of strain and tightness into the hamstrings and don't always give them the attention they need. So keeping the feet flexed or the front foot flexed, draw up through the legs to your hips, to your pelvis. The muscle is strong, but can you keep your face and your efforting soft or gentle? So there's activity and there's a lot, but there's not a resistance and there's not a pushing back against it. You can stay upright. You can lower the level of your blocks or bring your hand to the mat. You may choose to bow forward over this right leg. Just for a couple of breaths. If you're bowing forward, consider the top of the head like attached to a string that reaches out towards the top of the right foot rather than bowing towards the knee. And that'll help keep your spine a little longer. Inhale, lift back up and switch sides. So just bring the right foot back in. Take the left foot forward and start up on the blocks again, even if it's relatively simple to be down on the floor. We're talking about ease, so let's make it a little bit easier for ourselves. Welcome a full breath, and again, imagine that the whole inner body brightened up, got more kind of enlivened on the inside. And charge the leg muscle. So lift up from the left heel, left leg, all the way up into your pelvis. And that's creating a strong support for your hamstring muscle. And you may notice, having been here for a few moments now, that it doesn't feel as bad. The edge has moved. So follow the edge. You may want to come lower on the blocks. You may want to take the blocks away and come down onto your hands. Keep the leg firm, possibly bow all the way over. Again, consider instead of your chin tucked towards your chest or popping way forward, consider the top of the head like it had a string that reached towards the big toe. And draw the top of the head towards the top of your left foot. Whatever the angle of your spine is on, your head stays on that angle, but extends towards the top of the foot. Excellent. Soft breath, easy breath, even though it's a lot of sensation possibly. Then inhale and slowly make your way back up. Take your left foot, well, we're going to come back to standing. So whatever way you want to make your way to standing. I'm just bending my left knee. I'm going to step my right foot up to meet it. And then hands to the hips. Inhale and come up. For one more standing balance, we're going to take the foot out, holding the foot, little standing balance. So if you'd like to add a strap for that, you can use the strap. You can also just hold your knee if you prefer. Make it easeful for you. Other option, of course, put a hand on the wall for a little more balance. But turn your left foot parallel, hug the left leg muscles in, hug the left hip in, and then hover your right foot up. And you may be holding the right knee or holding the right foot. Yep, squeeze underneath. Now, if you're holding the foot, you're going to take the leg out. If you're holding the knee, you're just going to hang out with the knee and stand tall. Balance takes a lot of attention. See if you can be attentive without overworking. Tricky, tricky. Then slowly take the knee or foot out towards the right. Keep hugging the left outer hip in. Deep crease in the front of the right hip. That's it. Good. And then slowly bring your leg back to the center and set it back down. Try the other side. Turn your right toes straight forward, right leg muscles wrapped around the bones. And I always do like to touch my muscles because they turn on more when I do that. And then hug the right outer hip in, Hover your left leg up, and again, you can hold the left knee or hold the left foot. I'm going for the pinky toe side. You can do pinky toe or big toe. If you're holding the foot, slowly take the leg out. It may or may not go all the way straight. That's all right. Lots of engagement is needed, certainly in the body. Can you be super attentive? Not over efforting, not super effortful, so ease can remain. And then see what's possible. Keep a deep crease in the front of the left hip as you open the left leg out to the left. Hug right outer hip in. That's it, good. Soft face. And slowly bring your leg back to the center. And then bend the knee and set it back down. Good, let's step to Uttanasana, standing forward bend after that. You may notice a difference in your hamstrings. Charge the legs, so all the way up, fronts and backs of the legs is solid. And then scoop your buttocks flush down, lift your low belly, and allow your spine to cascade over. Now, you may choose to keep your hands on the floor to stay a little more rooted, or hold your elbows, and that'll give a little traction to your spine. What we don't want is the legs to completely collapse and relax here. Keep your legs strong, but the elbows may help the spine draw down. Now release your hands, take a breath, extend your spine, and we're going to move towards some restorative postures. So whatever makes sense for you, you can exhale and fold, to look around and get the props that you will need. Ideally, you have maybe good solid blankets, couch cushions, beach towels. I'm going on 3 yoga blankets, but that's because that's what I have in my area. So if you have beach towels, if you have yoga blankets, whatever you've got, see if you can get them into roughly this shape. So they're kind of solid. That's the main thing you want when you're setting up for your restoratives, is that your props are not going to move around on you. They are going to stay solid and supportive for you. So you're going to take them, as many as you have, stack them up like so. So all the smooth folds go together. And then also have your blocks close by, and we'll use those in a moment, but not for the very first ones. Okay. So nice stack. However big or small yours ended up being. And actually, if your stack's not super high and you need more height, your blocks can give that to you as well. We're going to start with the seated posture with wide legs. So you're going to take both legs out wide. If you need to, you can sit up on a block, or you can take one of the towels away and sit up on the towel or blanket. So you support your lower back, of course. Then take your big blanket stack, bring it right in between the legs, sticking straight out forward of you. You may also bring your blocks and put them up here, but we're just going to lay the torso out along the blankets. So bring your hands in front of you, take a deep breath, and then just walk yourself out. Now, for me, the blankets are the perfect height. It may be that you need a little more height, in which case you can either put a block just under your forehead, can be nice, like this, or you can stack up the blocks and have them under the forehead. That can be really nice if your forward bend in this position is not, all the way down to the blankets easily. Notice if your knees are rolling in. They tend to do that. And activate your legs just enough to support your knees staying pointed up towards the ceiling. Start to allow your body to receive the support of the props. So the blankets or towels are there so that your body can rest with ease. And bring your hands alongside of your blankets and inhale, push yourself back up to vertical. Yes, we'll take the whole stack over to your right leg. You put it right on your right leg. So the whole big thing. Once again, you may choose to have a block on there as another support, or you can keep the block off depending on how you feel. Keep the left leg supported just enough and then turn yourself towards the right. You do the same thing, just kind of walk yourself out. So choices are, you can be here with the blankets like this. If you prefer, you can turn, I like the other one, but you can turn the blanket sideways and just drape over it. One or the other. These will be slightly shorter holds, and then we'll deepen in a moment. But again, allow your body to start to feel that it's held. Feel the comfort of just being held. Letting it be super easy rather than complicated or distracting or busy. Walk your hands back slowly closer to your body. Let the head be the last thing. So the head hangs down as you push the arms down and lift up through your torso. And switch sides. So you take the whole thing. Again, the choice is to have it long this way or bring it in close and drape over. I like it long. Set yourself up over the left leg now. And just charge the right leg to stay pretty straight up and down as best you can. Then turn towards the left. You may even lift the ribs up a little and drape out over the props on the left side. You can keep it simple, just turn your head in towards the middle, or to add more twist, turn your head away from the middle. Let the breathing be soft and easy. And again, just notice where the edge is without needing to push beyond it. Softly walk your hands back alongside your body. Press them down. Head comes up last. Lift yourself back up. Good. So now we're going to place the blankets on the mat and come to child's pose using the blankets for some support. So if it bothers your hips or bothers your knees to be in child's pose, I've been playing with putting my butt on a block sometimes, and that can feel really nice if you want a little more support. So you'll bring your blankets into the middle of the mat, long ways. And then turn and face them. So if you're going to play with the block goes between your feet. Knees can be wide. And then you slide the blankets way in, right up next to the body, in between the knees. There we go. Block is optional. And then as you're ready, bring yourself out again. If you want a little more support for your head, you can have your head on a block on the blankets or take the block away. And we'll stay here a little bit longer than we stayed in the other poses. What you may want to do is be there for a while and then turn your head the other way. Notice if you're clenching in your hands or in the bottoms of your feet or somewhere in your jaw or your neck. Allow this posture to help those places soften into ease. Unwind habitual tension so that what's left is more peacefulness. Become attentive to your breath as well, particularly if the mind is busy. Be more attentive to your breathing as your breath draws you deeper into the experience.
Gently now walk the hands back towards your knees. Push down, lift yourself slowly off of the blankets. And just slide the blankets forward away from your knees. Bring the knees in and come up to hands and knees. If you were on a block, you could slide it out of your way. And take one leg at a time back behind you. Just straighten the knee. Bend and straighten, or just keep it straight. And switch sides, giving the leg a little energy back in it. Now you'll want to turn your blankets so that the smooth fold end is towards your body. So mine happens to be turned away, so I'm just going to turn them around. If yours are not turned away, don't worry about it. And get your 2 blocks. And if you have a strap, you may want to use your strap as well. It's optional, but I have it, so I'll show you. Coming to Supta Badakhanasana. So to start with, if you have a strap, you'll make a large belt with the strap. So you can start with it around your waist. It's actually easier if you build it there. Go through the 2 buckles, come back through the one, and then you've got this large belt. Yes. Then, once you have your belt, turn so that your back is to your blankets. Get your 2 blocks. They come out beside your thighs. And then bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. Now, the big belt goes around underneath the front of the feet. So I just lift my toes up, the belt goes around. So it's coming from my low waistline, or actually below my waistline, the top of the sacrum, up across the top of the thigh, across the top of the ankle, and then underneath of the feet. And then you can tighten that. So that's going to help hold your feet in place. And then the blocks are there also to support your knees. So the more opening you want, you put the block further out towards the knee. If you want more support, you bring the block closer in under the thigh. And I, as a person that's very open in the hips, I sometimes actually like a little more support. So there. Then the hands go behind and slowly tip yourself back. And there'll be a point where you need to scooch your buttocks flesh underneath of you more. So you lift up and sort of slide the buttocks under you more and lay back onto the blankets. Now, if the blankets are feeling too high, you can certainly take them away completely or in some part. You can also tuck the back end of one blanket under your neck, where you can have a little bit of curve in the back of the neck. And take your arms out to the sides, allow your palms to fall face up. We'll stay here for several minutes. Again, just watch the movement of your breath and allow your body to feel supported and to unwind layers of tension by being held and supported in this Badakanasana position. Soften the edges of your eyes. Unhinge your jaw. Allow the tongue to rest on the bottom of the mouth. When we practice restorative poses, we replenish an inner fluid called ojas, which is your life force. the juice of you. So by deepening and really resting here, we refill that well of ojas. So we feel more vital, more juicy as we make our way back into the world in a moment. Feel the cells being nourished as you rest here. You may choose, if you wish, stay in this position for the next several minutes and use this as your Shavasana. Or if you prefer, slowly transition into Shavasana. You can just slide the feet out from the strap. Slide the bolster out of the way, the blankets out of the way, and come onto your back. Gently begin to deepen your breathing. Become more aware of where you are in this moment, the shape that your body is in, the space that you're in, even if your eyes are closed. And if you're in Shavasana, it's simple, just move the body and stretch in the way that feels right. If you're in Supta Badakhanasana, can gently drape one arm across your body or both arms across your body. And take a little roll to one side. And then slide the strap off, slide out of the blocks and such. And either way, take a moment to stretch, take a moment to turn to your side, and then very gently come back up to a seated position. When you get back to your seat, sit up tall, close your eyes again, and tune into the sensations of ease in your body. The restorative practice, as I mentioned, can help to replenish this inner essence called ojas, which is like your inner juice, like a battery almost. And when we feel that replenishment, the rest of us doesn't have to work so hard because there is an inner aliveness supporting you. Breathe into that inner aliveness and rest in the knowing that all is well, and it can be easy if we let it. Now you can bring your palms up in front of your heart. We'll close with an Om together. Welcome your in-breath. Namaste. All right. Thank you all for practicing with me today. So good to be with you.